welcome back to LAFTEE. Thank you so much for joining us. I just want to thank you. Let's see. So one of the challenges I often find as a content creator in Southeast Asia is the noise. I'd filmed the intro at a different spot, but it was just way too noisy to continue. So I'm at a different coffee shop right now, and it's still in the Antung area. It's really nice, actually. Of course, there's still noise, but much less. So one of the things I wanted to go over today was the comments section. I believe for the most part, a lot of the comments are really good. I think it's interesting and it helps me to grow and develop as a content creator. So I don't feel any ill will about any negative comments, at least not to this point. And I believe it's super helpful for me as a content creator to get some of this feedback and to get some insights from what people are thinking. This comment is in regard to my apartments tour in Phnom Penh. I really like this comment. Utter nonsense, plenty of cheaper places all over the city. True, and my response was, cool, can you provide a couple of recommendations to rent? And then I had another viewer chimed in. It's not nonsense, he's just showing us the prices and the areas he's in. Of course some places can be cheaper and others more expensive. So the viewers expressing how the apartments that I showed were too expensive, and there are plenty of cheaper places. And he's not wrong, there are cheaper places. I just believe from this particular viewer's perspective is he'd rather go to a cheaper place or he'd rather rent a cheaper place, which is totally acceptable, and there's nothing wrong with that. And I don't believe there's anything inaccurate about this viewer's comment, nor do I think it was a shot at me, even though he says utter nonsense. Yeah, that's just how I feel about that particular comment. So the next comment is also in regards to being in Cambodia, and I think this one's excellent. Would it kill you to learn Khmer? And I think that viewer is right. My response was, I definitely think one should learn Khmer if living in Cambodia. And I think that's true. If you're going to be living in a foreign country for a long time, one should. That being said, learning a new language is difficult. The older you are, the harder it is for you to pick it up. So I think it's case by case. I do think the viewer is right to try to learn a little bit of that particular country's language, especially things like thank you, you're welcome, can you tell me where the bathroom is? Nice. Whoa. This is the tuna bite. Oh my God, this is delicious. So, all right, this is probably one of my favorite comments. This is in regards to my trip to Australia. I had accompanied my cousin to Sydney, Australia for her first year as a uni student. I was just there to help set her up. I really enjoyed it. I also talked about geo arbitrage and the different conversion rates between Australian dollars and the US dollar. And if you're a US citizen or if you're using US dollar, it's a good time to go to Australia just because you're gonna get more bang for your buck. And so this viewer writes in, well, Australian currency is worth jack at the moment. The prices here isn't affordable, it's daylight robbery. And my response, good point. Australian dollar when compared to US dollar is losing a ton of value, and there are 101 reasons why many Australians are struggling financially in the last few years. But there's geo arbitrage for Aussies too. Malaysia could be a good choice, which by the way is where I'm going next. Cost of living there is very low. The trick is still to earn AUD, Australian dollars, while living in Malaysia, or better yet, earn US dollar, again in reference to geo arbitrage. And I get not everyone can do this, so my suggestion is not a cure-all at all. My suggestion is not a cure-all. And so it's important to note in this particular example, the viewer that posted the initial comment and the response are from two different accounts. So I believe it's probably two different people. Such a condescending video towards Australia and the people. We are struggling and you laugh in our faces, but you and Trump have the nukes. Nothing we can do. My response to that? Oh no, I certainly don't laugh at Australians, nor am I condescending. I love Australia. I'm just stating facts about exchange rates and geo-arbitrage. That being said, I understand your point and your anger. I also understand it's not at me personally. Sincerely, I hope your situation gets better. So this viewer is presenting a point of view about the struggles of Australians, which is so true. I am sure without a doubt Australians are struggling, and he's right about it. I would add in Americans are, people in the UK, people in Canada are as well. I believe that so many parts of the world is struggling financially. It's really hard to keep up. And I'm not saying it's one of my favorite comments because of his reaction per se. It's one of my favorite comments because it highlights some of the struggles that many of us in the West have. Hence, I believe being an expat, using geo-arbitrage, living in developing countries, stuff of that nature can help someone economically. Not all of us can pick up and go and just move to a developing country. I mentioned that in the video, but I do believe what he said has some valid points. Again, he's upset, and I don't necessarily believe his anger or his being upset is targeted at me per se, as much as it is about the plight of his situation. Either way, I believe the comments from both are correct. The struggle is real. People are suffering. People are having a difficult time financially. It's not that easy, I totally understand, just to pick up and go and just use geo-arbitrage. I present that as one possible solution, but it's not a panacea for everyone. All right, so the next comment is in regards to scams. And this is from a video I did in Siem Reap with Anir from Israel. Scams suck, especially when you're trying to stretch a budget abroad. I found Southeast Asia in general still offers incredible value, but it really pays to do your homework city by city. One wrong turn and costs or risks spike fast. So true. So I want to go over the comments one by one. Scams suck. True, no argument here, right? Especially when you're trying to stretch a budget abroad. Absolutely, even more so true. When you're going to a developing country, you want to make sure you have enough money to ride that time period that you're there, especially if you're not having an income at the moment, especially if you're living off of your savings or something like that. I found Southeast Asia in general still offers incredible value. Again, very true if you are comparing it to the West. If you're comparing it to America, UK, Australia, some parts of Europe, Canada, definitely many parts of Southeast Asia is going to be cheaper. But it really pays to do your homework city by city. Again, also true, definitely very important, city by city. Bangkok is going to be more expensive than the lot. Manila, Philippines is going to be more expensive than Siem Reap, Cambodia. Very true. Important to do your homework. If you don't have a lot of money saved, if you're a first-time traveler, you don't have a lot of savings, it's best to go to cities that are going to be the lowest possible cost of living relative to the cities that have higher costs of living. Again, it just really depends on how much money you have. One wrong turn and costs or risks spike fast. Very true. And I'm not talking about scams where it's the fruit scams where they overcharge you, or the meals, or even the taxi scams. I'm really talking about the big ones, which would maybe include dating scams, or people are trying to sell you cryptocurrency or some online scams. So there's a lot of big scams. Anytime you're spending a lot of money, whatever a lot of money looks like to you, be leery of that. So I obviously have seen all the comments since doing this video, but my reaction to them are still new as I'm recording this. This is also one of my favorite comments for different reason. I really don't need to watch you stuffing your face. Some of it is not very pleasant. I agree. Some of it's probably not very pleasant to some people. So my response is, yeah, I can see how that would be unpleasant for some. No argument here. So yes, that's how I feel. Yes, definitely no arguments. Some people just don't like it when people are eating and people are putting that on video. So I get that. Yeah, no argument here.
All right. So I had to go to another area. I didn't want to interrupt the guy that just came into the coffee shop. Anyway, so I am out the beach here, and I hope you guys like this setting because I surely like it. I got a peach tea, super tasty. I give you a spoon so you can get the peaches out of here and eat it. All right, let's go on to the next comment. So this one is about Da Nang. Da Nang is going to be like Bali back in the days, affordable, beautiful, and clean. People keep pouring in and jack up the cost of living for everyone, especially for the locals. No wonder why Thailand is kicking out a lot of foreigners. So I think that comment is true, or mostly true. Da Nang is very affordable, super beautiful. There are a lot of people coming here, and they're probably right. This commenter is probably right. Prices are going to rise. With that being said, I still believe it's very, very affordable right now. And I say that relative to what you're paying in the West, relative to what is available in other places, such as Bali. I think Bali is fantastic. It's great. And I just believe right now, relative to Bali, Da Nang is just offers more value. And of course, it just really depends on what you want and what you need and how much money you have. All those factors, how many boxes Da Nang checks off for you relative to maybe Bali. But this commenter is definitely right. The cost of living will be higher, and yeah, it'll be more difficult as the years progress. So the next comment, I really like this one as well. Actually, I like all the comments, right? Why are people wearing masks? Are they COVIDiots? I think this is a perfectly reasonable question in the sense of why are people wearing masks? Understand his comments. Are they COVIDiots? And there's a laughing emoji on there. I responded back with good question. Many people in Southeast Asia have been wearing masks for decades. It serves mainly two purposes, or two things, but I'm sure there's more depending on who you ask. The smog, dust, and air pollutants from other vehicles and motorbikes can be really bad, which is so true. And secondly, the sun is harsh in tropical Southeast Asia, so it's used as a sun barrier. I think there's a popular misconception about masks in general throughout the world. Certainly in the States, where we had COVID, and many people didn't believe that COVID necessitated the use of masks. Totally understandable if that's your belief. With that being said, people wear masks in different countries for many different reasons, and COVID, and this is before COVID. What I like about this question is that it opens up a different perspective. we're so used to our own beliefs and our situation that it's hard for us to see something happening in another country, and we're projecting what our opinions are towards that country. If you take a look, even in the U.S., I can't remember in the early 1900s. What was there? There was some type of sickness or some type of disease that was going on. Was it the Spanish flu or something like that? And we were wearing masks in the U.S. during that time. It's just kind of hard for us to see the point of view of other people, especially if they're in different parts of the world. And so when you are a traveler, when you're an expat and you go overseas, especially if you're going to a developing country in Southeast Asia, you'll see the differences. And so you get a chance to maybe even appreciate those differences that you didn't otherwise know if you would have just stayed in your home country. Again, I thought it's a good question, and I hope the person that wrote this comment can understand some of the points of views of another person in a different country. Alrighty, and the next comment. Love the notion of going to Siem Reap for the rest of my days. An old American fed up with the inflation here in the US. So greedy and ridiculous. My social security income would be awesome over there. Many expats already retired in Siem Reap report a very comfortable life on various amounts from $750 to $1,000 a month. Several suggest $1,500 as an amount to live in luxury. My income is a bit more than that, but I likely won't spend more than half of it most months. A somewhat frugal but comfortable life is fine with me. Saving and some travel will be nice. Perhaps a trip to Bangkok once or twice per year for some medical, blood tests, and cardio checkups. A nice escape for some fun too while I'm over there. Great video. So this commenter is talking about Siem Reap and just the availability and the options for him in terms of a better quality of life at such a low cost. I can't argue with that. Siem Reap is a fantastic city, and I think people should visit it. And it's a fantastic place for expats in general, and I totally agree with him. The medical tests, cardio, and so forth in Bangkok nearby, I agree with that as well. Bangkok has such a good world-class medical facilities that I think people in Southeast Asia, if you're an older person, if you're concerned about your health, being close to Bangkok to get your tests and your health and your checkups and so forth is a great idea. A nice escape for some fun too while over there. Great video. I like this comment. I believe this comment to be true. I think this commenter is pretty on spot too in terms of the cost of living in Siem Reap. Certainly $1,500 a month could be a luxurious lifestyle. Don't argue with that at all. All right, so the next one is in regards to my apartment video in Phnom Penh. Not near as nice as I can get one in Siem Reap. Also, according to Numbeo, rent prices in Siem Reap are 43.2% lower than in Phnom Penh. Restaurant prices in Siem Reap are 26.5% lower than in Phnom Penh. Grocery prices in Siem Reap are 12.7% lower than in Phnom Penh. As a retired U.S. expat well past 55, why waste my time outside of Siem Reap? He's right. Why waste his time outside of Siem Reap? We're giving you the numbers here. In comparison to Phnom Penh, it's a better situation for him in Siem Reap. not near as nice as I can get one in Siem Reap, he mentions. He brings up Numbeo, which is a great website. Get on that website, numbeo.com. It's a crowdsourced database. They basically use information from the people that are living in that city in regards to the cost of living, safety, etc. Definitely check out that website as a starting point if you need it. So what he mentions here is, hold on here, let me get back to my, and notice where he's coming from, the commenter. As a retired US expat, well past 55, why waste my time outside of Siem Reap? He's absolutely right. For him, he shouldn't waste his time outside of Siem Reap because of those factors that he presented. That being said, everybody has different factors and everybody has different reasons. He's just commenting based on his point of view, which is totally fine and totally acceptable for him to do that, obviously, right? You, however, need to make decisions based on your needs, based on your costs, based on your desires, based on your values. So you'll make those decisions based on what you want to do. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I really appreciate it. Oh my gosh, check that out. Sorry, got distracted. Oh man, that looks like so much fun. Little parasailing going on. Anyway, yes, thank you so much for subscribing. We're over 1,000 subscribers now, and I can't say thank you enough. I'm super appreciative. Please don't be hard on so many people that are leaving negative comments. I think a lot of it is a reflection of where they're coming from and their opinions and their point of views, less so than maybe commentary about me personally. Again, I'm privileged and grateful for your support. Again, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.